Hey guys, welcome to my TSM versus Clutch VOD review. So, I'm sure you guys have all heard TSM, they didn't make it through. They actually got reverse swept. So, emotions were running really high for both teams, and this was a very important best of 5 for both teams. And I want to be neutral as possible and go over some of the critical mistakes that TSM has made and kind of the adaptation that Clutch was able to make throughout the series and show you guys why this best of 5 turned out this way. Honestly, if you're looking for high quality League of Legends, you're not going to find it here. It was very messy. It was a lot of good plays and also a lot of just big holes in these teams that was showing that they aren't very complete teams. I think even with Clutch making it out of Gauntlet, they have to improve a lot for them to be a legitimate team at Worlds. And for TSM, well, they have a long road of figuring out what they're going to do in the offseason. Without further ado, let's get started. Rumble ban, me likey. Skarner ban, also a very well identified pick from TSM. I think Clutch has been kind of relying on Skarner to really get Lyra going, because Lyra hasn't shown a lot of depth. He's shown he can kind of play Seju, kind of play Skarner, or kind of play Jarvan, but where he really shined was when he played Skarner. And their bread and butter has been Vulcan being on a primary engager, Leona, Alistar, or Rakan, and Lyra being on Skarner, and Vulcan engaging majority of their fights, and then Skarner later on gets Righteous Glory and Predator, and then he can start engaging. But yeah, a lot of it was around Vulcan being the primary engage and Lyra kind of being secondary with Skarner. And TSM banning out Skarner, I actually really like that ban. The Yuumi and the Akali ban from Clutch is very normal. On red side, you have to ban out these champions, especially if you feel like the enemy team can play Akali very well in both lanes. And TSM has really good Akali players in Broken Blade and Bjergsen. GP, another classic Huni ban that he's shown a lot of success over. Morgana, that's actually a really weird one. I'm not sure why they banned Morgana. I think it's because they expect them to first pick something that's not Xayah or Rakan, and they want to be able to run Morgana into the Xayah Rakan. But from red side, maybe they want to be the ones. Oh, yeah, they picked Xayah Rakan on 1 and 2, and they don't want TSM to be able to take Caitlyn Morg on 2 and 3. Let's see, what's your first pick is TSM? What was it? I don't recall. Oh, Seju. Oh yes, we could play Seju all 5 games. So TSM starting the game 1 of the series with really high priority on Seju. Later on, they do end up dropping it because they see Lyra play it and it wasn't that hot. Rakan. Take the Xayah Rakan. Oh, one thing unique that Clutch did here was they ended up banning Morg instead of Sona. So Clutch has pretty much banned Sona and not played Sona throughout their summer split. This game 1, them opening Sona was, we dare you to play Sona. We don't think you're a good Sona Taric team or a Sona Kench team. We dare you to play it. Silas into Seju, that's Lyra's other pick into it, and his other good jungler. Sona Tahm Kench right away. This means that TSM is willing to play the Sona and kind of going it with Clutch's gambit. We're going to leave Sona open to you. Let's see if you play it and let's see how good you are with it. Clutch finishing up with Xayah Rakan. Aatrox ban. I was a little surprised by the Aatrox ban, but I guess with GP out of the picture. Irelia ban. Something that Dom mentioned on FaceCheck, TSM being really timid with their top laner, like where Clutch is really leaning into Irelia, really leaning into when he playing carries. Like they try to keep Broken Blade off of carries and just have him play more of these like neutral champions like Aatrox. Last ban Quirky. What's the last ban here, TSM? Kiana. I guess Clutch could go Kiana there. Not bad ban. Kiana Irelia actually is really good. I didn't like the fact that TSM's pushing Broken Blade off of carries, but the Irelia ban hits both Demonte and Huni, and Kiana ban, not bad at all. What do you take? Do they blind mid here or blind top? And a little bit of mistake from Clutch. If they were going to ban Corki, yeah, they should also ban Azir. Nico. Yeah, really don't like this blind. Jace. Yeah, what was surprising to me was, I did say TSM kept Broken Blade off of carries, but they opened game 1 with Broken Blade playing Jace, and he had a pretty decent Jace game, but after game 1, it just was nowhere to be seen. Oh, they Clutch banned it throughout the series, never mind. And Azir, yeah, got through instead of the Aatrox, so Bjerg taking Azir. Just really solid. Really solid Sona Tom Kench draft. Strong solo, like one thing that's really crucial whenever you're playing Sona Tom or Sona Tarek is having really strong solo laners, so you're not getting bullied in solo lane and people are roaming onto you bot side after getting ahead with the solos. So they did a really good job of drafting actual strong solo lanes. And the Pantheon pick, a lot of people were either trolling or genuinely confused and thought Clutch didn't know this is on the old patch and they'd be playing the old Pantheon. But they've been scrimming on this patch for like 4 weeks now, so they know, I mean, they know which patch it is. Like, they specifically prep Pantheon, or Huni was confident enough to play Pantheon into Jace with little prep. Well, typical Sona Tom Kench game. Sona Tom Kench team, extremely strong in mid game. If they can get there without a scratch, then that team's going to win out. And as for Clutch, their goal should be demolishing either solo lanes or diving bot side before Sona Tom Kench gets really going. Xayah Rakan going to be able to build their own lead on Sona Tom. What now the question is, how good is the solo lanes going to be? Damn, lollies for sneaking in that ad there. Let's go to the start of the game. TSM's main win condition is scaling and like big mid game fights. Their late game isn't even that bad because they have an Azir. As for Clutch, it's going to be a lot about how well they can snowball. Can they snowball the bot side? Can they snowball the Pantheon? Oh, this is where I hate this interview, but we can actually listen to this interview. This is where Peter put his foot in his mouth.
What's the state of the team like compared to the last time you took on Clutch?
We definitely feels better right now because we've been practicing really hard doing the break time, and I think we're ready to go.
And speaking of practice, in an interview released this morning from Travis Gafford, Demonte had said that you guys had some scheduled scrim time against Clutch Gaming, but then after beating them the first time, you had canceled the rest of the day. So were they not worth your time?
I don't want to say, but the first time we scrimmed them, we shut on them really hard, so we just decided to scrim our Academy team.
Well, is that going to happen today?
Not sure, but we'll see.
Not sure, we'll see. Well, best of luck to you, and back
Peter.
to you guys.
Well, hopefully everybody washed their hands before coming back to play that.
Oh my goodness! I just because this invade is resulting in Lyra being able to clear out the.
So Clutch had an early game invade, and they're able to take red buff, and they're able to take Wraith on top of that, taking 2 camps away. And Spica just did his own side of the jungle. He didn't counter invade. He actually could have counter invaded, because Azir, if he wants to, he can play for prio, and Jace also has prio early, so they could have just gone for red, but instead Spica just coming back to his own side of the jungle. He's just playing very timid. Yeah, now. Spica's just getting... Let me put the quality at, what, 1080. Sorry about the glitching out for a sec. Broken Blade doing a great job of dodging the gank. Also, one thing that I do want to talk about with the wave management and the wave control that's really important. So here, this is the third wave, or this is the cannon wave that's hitting. It's very important you shove this all the way in, because if you don't, your wave can get frozen here. And if your wave gets frozen here versus Pantheon, then you're going to get ganked. So very important for Broken Blade that all 4 of these get in the range of turret, which is like right here. And he's actually able to shove this all the way in, make sure the wave crashes and the wave's going to start bouncing back, and you're going to be able to see that. Yep, everything gets in range of turret. He wants to keep pushing. Needs to make sure this also pushes all the way in. Push, 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 push. Now the wave's going to start pushing back to him. Very important that happened. If that didn't happen and the wave got stuck there and it stayed frozen at turret, then he'd be in a really fucked situation because his jungler got behind early and he's versus a Pantheon Silas, so he can get easily ganked. So then forced to burn TP early, not that big of a problem. Just Dire Rakan is going to be brutal early for the Sona Tahm Kench, and you just have to deal with it and have to make sure you can get to mid game. Try not to lose turret plating, try not to lose turret. Ooh, wraparound gank from Spica. This gank was kind of dangerous because Spica's level 3. When Lyra gets here, just this 2v2 also looks really, like this 2v2 looks really scary. I'm not sure why he tried for this level 3 gank. He should just be clearing his entire side. You're a level 3 Sejuani. I'm not sure what you're doing here. Even without that TP, that gank was just not going to happen. I think the best thing he could have done was help the Jace, make sure he gets his CS properly, make sure he doesn't get dope, but no need to actually look for the gank. Pantheon coming down to mid side because he has nothing to do top for a little while. Or coming all the way down to bot side, helping with Ocean Drake. I guess he feels like he can just ult top lane to teleport back. Oh, just recalling instead. He's going to recall buy items and then ult top lane if he needs to. Just pressuring early with Pantheon. Normal part. He's going to lose a few CS here. Are you going to ult? Yeah, he just does ult. Boom. Now that he has Tiamat, he can clear a little better. But him, like the lane actually being even is really good for the J side. For the Pantheon, you are the least scaling champion in the game. I don't think there's another champion that's played competitively that scales worse than a Pantheon. It's so important that you actually snowball on him. TSM looking for this blue. I'm not sure why he even looked for this blue invade. How is this blue invade going to be possible? Bjergsen's recalling. You have Sona Kench bot side. You're not going to build prio. That blue invade was just never going to happen. Spica is catching up. Hit level 6 around same time as Lyra. Not fell down that behind actually. Bot side doing fine. There is tons of CS differential, but that's to be expected. Why did Bjerg end up using ult there? Okay. Oh, looks like Demonte faked him out. Do you guys see this? So Demonte acts like he went in with his clone, and Bjerg thought that was the real one, so he ulted. Ugh. Oh, starting the fight on Lyra. Lyra was able to steal the Azir ult, push the Seju back, and then flash out. Smoothie ulted in there. Good ult from Smoothie. Good job of making sure they have mid control. And that's something TSM does well every single time, actually making sure they have mid control. It's what they do after with it that's the kind of the problem. Catching the spot lane, recalling, this is going to delay their recall, give bot lane a little bit more space to breed. All these things are really good. A normal early game is great for TSM. Clutch bot lane not being able to really bust them wide open. Pantheon not being able to build really strong leads. Like these things are great for TSM. Especially because the game started with Spica getting 3 buffed. And then I was just about to forget. But don't worry, anytime you guys don't have the game timer, just look at Rift Herald spawn, and if Clutch is walking to it, then you know it's 10 minutes. So 10-minute Rift Herald, I mean, this is a classic Clutch gameplay. They're making sure they're up on tempo with Vulcan already there, Xayah TPing, and TSM's bot lane is ready to move and actually cover and fight this. This is going to be a full-on 10v or 5v5, all 10 people, well set up team fight. Let's see how it goes. Clutch loves making sure they have a pink in here so Vulcan can engage from there. TSM ready to go in. One thing that's kind of bad is Broken Blade on the other side. He can poke from this side, but as a Jace, especially this early in the game, if Pantheon flash W's you or Vulcan flash RW's you and you get caught, it's really fucking bad. So he needs to be very careful. He needs to poke well without, getting engaged on. So here, Vulcan actually flubs his engage. Vulcan flashed on top of, Sejuani, and tried to ult, or try to get the knock up on Zven. Zven's able to dodge. Zven ulting both the Sylas and the Rakan before getting Sejuani ulted. So here, Smoothie got cut off by Pantheon, but if Smoothie moved this side and not here, Smoothie also would have been fine, but Zven did a really good job of denying this engage. Smoothie's just in the wrong spot. If he just had to walk out the other way. But now if you look, Vulcan used his engage. Lyra used his engage. Pantheon used his tool to flank. Clutch doesn't have big engage tools left. The only thing they really have left is Demonte or Huni Flash W. So TSM, even with Smoothie dying, they were able to burn a lot of their engages. And the only thing that TSM really used is Sona ult. Broken Blade doing a good job of hitting EQs. I think that's the second EQ he hit on Xayah. TSM slowly walking back into it. Demonte looking for a flank. So here, Clutch forced their engage onto them. Huni flash W that we talked about. Zven flashed out. Beer flashes out after. While this is all happening, TSM, Zven is able to keep everyone on the team healthy. They're able to land pokes with Broken Blade. Lyra constantly tanking Herald, he's a lot lower. Oh, Broken Blade able to kill Lyra with his EQ. Broken Blade able to get Herald. Huni caught in the middle of everything, getting killed after. TSM just did such a good job of kind of staggering their engages or disengages and making sure the tanky people are checking in and not allowing Clutch to engage onto them, and they come out ahead in this Herald fight. It's so bad on the Pantheon side to lose the Herald fight. It's so good on the Sona Kench side to win the Herald fight. Like, they're just in such a good spot after this Herald. The second ring gauge, Lyra's been tanking for such a long time. Broken Blade able to land a very nice EQ, killing him. No, Tom walked the wrong way. If he walks away from his squishies, he's not doing his job. A little bit. Oh, Broken Blade with a nice solo kill on Xayah. A little bit, but also no one else was in danger there, so he didn't need to be there. TSM sending all 4 members bottom, using Herald, able to get first turret. Really fucking good. TSM able to steal the blue away also. This is just such a good scenario for TSM, and also TSM with a nice shift play. You can see Bjergsen pushing out mid, and then he's shifting to top side to cover top to make sure that farm doesn't go to waste, to make sure Cody's Sun can't just beat up on the turret. Well, TSM's just in such a good spot here. Usually the Sona Kench side, or the Sona Taric side more accurately, gets smashed. But Sona Kench is a little bit of a better laner than Sona Taric, so you have a little bit more resiliency in lane. But they definitely aren't supposed to win early game like this. TSM's feeling really great about their game state. Clutch knows Pantheon's time is running out. Clutch knows Zaya's time is, or Sona Kench is scaling really nicely. The big breaking point for Sona Kench is usually Sona 2 items. When she gets her Lich Bane, when she has her Archangel upgraded to Seraph. Wow, TSM with the proactive catch. So they're able to place a ward here, and they spot Vulcan and Lyra walking in, so they know they're in this brush. They know they're in this brush. It's not face checking. Able to get it started with a Sejuani ult and a Sejuani knockup, followed with a Sona ult, so perma CC'd for the Rakan. Nice counter engage from Demonte. But Bjerg and Broken Blade coming in here. Bjergsen canceling Huni out of his ult. Demonte caught on the wrong side. TSM just had a really sneaky ward that was able to catch Clutch Gaming going in that brush, and they did a really good job of opening up with Sejuani. Oh, this was where I was a little bit questioning TSM. So if you look here, Azir no ult, Sona no ult, Sejuani no ult. 3 people have no ult, and Dragon is coming up, and also they have a Pantheon ult they have to be really careful of. I was so shocked that TSM was willing to siege here. You're missing big tools, and you recently got ahead. There's no reason to be sieging so much. And also, at this point, Broken Blade is 4-0. It's very important they actually utilize him, and they split push, and they play the map wide as possible. But yeah, they weren't willing to at all, and they just wanted to siege mid. Just spread the map out, wait a little bit, wait for the ults to come up. You have such a big lead. Why are you being so desperate to siege? I really didn't understand this part of the game for TSM. Pantheon ult, Sona gets caught. Stolen, Sona ult. Like, they just gave up all the pressure they had to try to siege mid versus a Pantheon with ult, and when you're missing major ults. It's just so weird. And now TSM has so much control over the game. They have control over the game, it's just... They have a 4-0 Jace, and that's the thing I really want to highlight. They should have control over the game, I guess more accurately. When the Jace is in a side lane, there's no one on Clutch's side that can match the Jace 1v1. They have to send multiple people to match the Jace. What I would like to see TSM do is run 4-1 and pressure side lanes with Jace. Like, here the Jace being pussy, like the Jace backing up, this is not what the Jace wants at all. Jace wants to push, and Jace wants other sides of the maps to be pushing and them to pressure together. Well, one thing that's happening is Bjergsen's backing here, so there's going to be a loss of pressure in mid, so maybe that's why Jace is backing, but the way TSM synchronizing and the way they're putting on pressure as a team is just not clean and not well done, and it's just staggered in a terrible way. Like, Jace is just farming Grump when he's 4-0, not wailing on the Pantheon. There we go. They're starting to pressure the map a little bit more because Bjergsen's back. Actually using the Jace. I guess that they just reset for that one timing for Bjerg. But yeah, this is what I like to see. Jace actively being used. TSM playing more to the side lanes. I don't like that they lost this bot turret. they can spread out and actually farm all 3 lanes. I don't think Clutch has enough tools to catch up Bjerg in a side lane, especially when he has flash up. So Jace and Azir can both split, and they can actually run a full 1-3-1 if they want to. And because they have Tahm Kench mid side, they can always ult to a side lane with Tahm Kench too. Yeah, I hate, like, they push and then they group. Like, they're never able to go across the river. They're never able to go across here. Like, they are not willing to cross this line to actually split push with the Jace. The Jace is always forced to push and then group. Push and then group. Where the Jace would like it so much better if he's pushing continuously and people on his team are pressuring with him or able to match the pressure that he's able to provide. But he's just always pushing and grouping, pushing and grouping. It's a way you can play, but it's a weak way. It's not as dominant. And this is where I got worried for TSM. And this part of the game is where I realized, holy shit, this team's just not going to side lane the entire series. And if you're not willing to side lane versus Funi, then yeah, it's going to be an uphill battle no matter what. Good job on controlling jungle. Yeah, the way they do this is so weird. They just have like 4 people here where they can spread out a bit more. They can push and provide the pressure and be ready to rotate, but they're always just like push and everyone move together. Oh, this is also so bad. So this exit gets cut off here. I'm not sure what Spica was trying to do. I guess he was trying to ult the Pantheon right as he dropped. Ult him right as he dropped. But the timing of it was a little weird. If he was going to do it, he had to shoot it early. Doesn't hit the Pantheon. So they're trying to like Broken Blade is far on this side, Bjerg is far on this side. It's just split. They don't know what they want to be doing. There's just so much split calls. There's just split. Oh my goodness. There's a lot of mixed calls being made here, and they're not playing on the same page. Bjerg's getting goad on while like Broken Blade's hitting Lyra. Even when he solo kills Lyra, like, because TSM lost this part of the fight so badly. Like, they want to play together. Like, Azir, Sona, and Jace wants to play together as a core. Don't you think TSM looked much better overall? I think they would have been a decent 3rd seed from NA at Worlds. TSM does certain things so well, but they do certain things so badly. I don't think it's fair to Clutch to just be like TSM would be a better 3rd seed. It's not like Clutch is a perfect team, but this iteration of TSM, they just have so much flaws. If the Fedge hits the ult, it's a very different fight. Yeah, it's a very different fight if the Sejuani hits the ult. But if they don't hit the ult, they still need to be on the same page. Like, they're just on completely different pages when that Sejuani ult misses. Like, Broken Blade's running off far to the right, Bjerg's running off far to the left, and then like people group with Bjerg. It's just such a weird way to play. Like, both those champions are so much stronger when they're played together, like Azir and Jace being on the same side. Sona's hit her power spike for a while. She's getting even stronger. At this point in the game, Sona normally only has like a Lich Bane and a Seraph, but this Sona also has a needlessly large rod on top of that. Oof. Once again, separated. 2 people here, 2 people here, just people on different parts. Like, it's so weird. Even when they group, they don't play well together group. And when they're split, like, they're split in such weird ways. So right here, very important. Everyone either exit here or everyone exit here. But they get split up. Watch here. Just exit the same way. Like, people are exiting different ways. So they can't help each other. They're winning the fight on like individual merit, like Broken Blade hitting EQs on Vulcan, like them being able to kite and like do damage, but they're not playing together at all. TSM starting Baron. Now it's fine for Jace to be on the other side because he wants to kind of flank, do damage to the squishies. Let's see how this fight is starting. So look at this fight, like TSM is ready to turn. All the ranged people are on the outer side and only the tank is hitting. And all they need to do to turn is like tank just rotating and hitting a target. This is a team that's ready to get off of Baron. Ready to turn. Going on Huni. Ulted Demonte. Demonte forced to burn Zanyth. Doesn't get deep in there. Broken Blade on the side hitting EQs. When everyone's low like this, it's way better for TSM because TSM has poke. They also have Sona heal, Sona speed. Just much better position for TSM. Clutch stuck between a rock and a hard place. There's a tier 1 turret on this side. TSM can keep poking. Yeah, they can keep poking like this. Oh my. This was like a good snare from Demonte, and Vulcan almost got a really great engage off here. But Sona being able to ult 4 targets, that's so good. Sona is able to ult 4 targets. She has flashed. She can flash out if she needs to. There we go. She flashes out. Rest of TSM cleaning up. Just have to keep waiting on cooldown from Broken Blade. I don't know how Bjergsen died. How did Bjerg die there? Oh. Bjergsen got rooted. Okay, Bjergsen got rooted. Oh wait, no, Bjergsen didn't get rooted. He ran off this path. He ran off here. Liar flashy. Okay. Liar landed a great flashy on Bjerg, so Bjerg got caught off to the side. Broken Blade landing like 3 EQs now. He's getting so much work done by being off to the side and actually hitting things. Boom. These kind of evenish fights are perfectly fine for TSM. Like, this is their strong point, so they do want to be smashing fights, but the way they're losing, oh man, this is just fucking dumb. Like, at this point, they can't really win fights. The only thing they can do is hit EQ. Bjerg is dead, he's a lot of their damage. Sidrani ult almost up, but Sona doesn't have ult. Sona ult's like a huge thing. Lyra took Sona ult, able to get a kill there. Get a clean reset, set up for Dragon, and then set up for Baron. All that TSM needs to do. 4 people have HP on clutch. Just get the quick reset and go set up for Dragon. Both teams should put focus on taking the Dragon while not losing Baron. Taking that Earthdrake is so crucial. Long as they don't lose complete vision on Baron, it's fine to just take the Earthdrake. But yeah, you can see how TSM, they are sort of utilizing Jace having a lead, but barely. I would just like it so much more if they leaned into the Jace. Like, let the Jace split push, play with the Jace. What is this? Like, why is Jace up in the front here? Like, you know you can land pokes from this distance, right? You know your poke goes from here to like here. But why is Jace here? Such weird positioning from the Jace. I'm not even surprised he gets caught out. It's just his positioning there was terrible. Oh my god. I remember watching this. Oh, it's just so bad on his part to play like that. TSM starting Baron as a reply, realizing they can't do Baron and just backing up. They have a 6-1, they had a 6-0 Jace, and they had no way to actually utilize the Jace being that ahead. Zaya is fucking massive right now. She has 4 items, but it's still a Sona comp. TSM's still not out of it. Like, the Jace is ginormous. It's just like when your split pusher and a side laner gets this big of a lead, like, you need to proactively use them to side lane. Like, that's where they're the strongest, and TSM does none of that. They're just so content screwing up over and over again. It is actual meme city right now. It is meme team. Just ARAM until things work. Literally just ARM until things work. Clutch is the only team willing to play side lane in this series. This is more of Huni being silly. When he's coming here, this is just outside of range of this ward. So Huni didn't spot this ward, so he's hiding in the wrong place, and TSM knows he's hiding there. So that's why they're able to chase him down. This wasn't just like some amazing play from TSM, it just Huni wasn't able to spot a ward that was slightly outside of his range, so TSM was able to get Baron. But the utilization of Jace was just so underdone, when, especially with the Jace being that far ahead. Yes, you did win. Yes, you did get Baron, but there just was a different way to come to this point, especially with such a fed carry. Did they just win here? No, they don't. Also, I'm pretty sure bottom inhib could have been saved. Yeah, bottom inhibitor is still up. If Jace backed a little bit early. Oh no. Jace backed and then he straight TP'd here. Wait, you see Demonte top, he's recalling now, you don't need to TP right away. If Jace goes bottom, clears out the wave a bit, and then TPs, they could have actually saved their inhibitor. But I guess that doesn't matter, they just needed all 5 people there immediately. Yeah, they're playing to end here, where ending is kind of impossible, and they should have just saved the inhibitor. Just miraculous that Clutch split pushes more with Pantheon and a Nico than TSM does with the Jace. When they place this pink ward here, and then your ward gets deleted, like TSM has to be like, guys, before we siege, we need to push this side out. They're gonna be able to flank us from here. But that call's never made. They're just like, fuck it, just siege. It doesn't matter who's there. Like, why does this area not matter? Like, if Rakan hit here also, and the Rakan's like planning R/W, that's also so dangerous. They needed to like check on this side. Ugh. So they see Demonte here. Demonte is able to deal with the Sona catch. This side also gets squished in. Just basic steps are forgotten before you siege. Oh, it's just so frustrating because they're so ahead and they're still like slowly winning this game, but they're doing it in such a fundamentally bad way. Oh. The sad thing is, their early game start was so good, they're still in the game despite like making mistakes like 3 or 4 times in a row. This is the first engage where TSM has everyone on the same side when they're engaging, and Broken Blade isn't far ahead of his tank. So all 5 people on the same side. Smoothie gets eaten right away. Sejuani ult misses from the enemy team. It's been just an okay Sona ult, not the best in the world. But yeah, this is what happens when TSM plays versus Clutches engage properly. They just demolished them in a team fight. This should have just happened like 3 fights ago. It just finally happened. That's game. Well, a win is a win. And also this win is so important because it means that TSM can run Sona and Clutch can't, so they have to permaban Sona Yuumi whenever they're on purple, and they still have to permaban Sona from blue side. So this game, as messy as it was such an important victory for TSM to show that they can win with Sona and tell Clutch, no, you have to ban Sona, you can't open Sona versus us. Alright, let's go to game 2. Alright guys, we got game 2. TSM had a messy but still a victory for game 1. Let's see how game 2 goes. A Sona ban. That Sona ban is from last game. TSM with that win has earned a Sona ban throughout the entire series, and that's so crucial. Jace ban's actually interesting because I thought Huni would have other pick into Jace that's not Pantheon. I'm sure his Irelia into Jace is also going to be fine, so I was just very surprised that they banned Jace here because Huni's the type of player that has like a champion ocean. Skarner ban, just carrying over, it's a ban I like. Akali ban, because this is the one I question a little bit, and this is the one I question the most, the Akali ban, because Demonte isn't the best Akali player in the world. I understand Akali's OP, I understand Akali can go top, but I would at least play Akali, or I would at least let Akali through once and see how good Demonte is on it. Instead they end up banning Akali, give up gameplay first pick. Lucian top into GP. Let's see it. Let's fucking see it. I'm surprised they didn't just do Xayah Rakan here. They were so focused on getting Sejuani for Spica. I think there's just other champions that can be played. Gragas or even Jarvan. Just take Xayah Rakan here. Is Seju really that important? Kai'Sa Rakan. Kai'Sa Rakan, always a nice duo. The problem that Rakan has is his engage is really... You can engage from such a long distance, but when you engage from such a long distance, one problem that comes up is people can't follow up as well, but Kai'Sa can insta follow up on that with their ultimate. Nautilus. So one thing that people are mentioning is if they take Xayah Rakan here, they could run Caitlyn Morg. I think that's fine, and I would rather test their Caitlyn Morg than being scared of it the entire time. Nautilus into Rakan, a very common counter. Connor looks kind of dead. He's like, Gragaspan looks like they're pinching jungles. Oh, was this an infamous Elise game? Corki ban. Hopefully they follow up with an Azir ban. They learned from what media said. Greg Starban. Those are good bans. This is kind of the problem that comes with first picking GP. Your jungle can get pinched. Azir. Yep. Great bans from both sides. Actually, I really like the phase 2 bans. This Sylas pickup is also kind of a mini ban because Lyra's normal pick into Sejuani has been Sylas. By picking Sylas on 4, not only are you picking Sylas, you're also denying Lyra Sylas. Yep, really shitty Elise pick. I think it's also followed up with Syndra. Okay, they did Irelia. At least it's with Irelia, not Syndra, but the Elise pick here feels really... It's bad. Elise into Seju also. And Lyra just did not seem practice at all on Elise. Aatrox into GP is not really a counter pick. Unless... you have to play to it a lot, and you have to be very good about ganks, and your synergy with your jungle has to be really high. But Broken Blade and Spica don't really have that, so I was very surprised about the Aatrox pick. What should have CG picked there? So Olaf is actually 100% the correct pick, but you need to be good at Olaf. Like Olaf into Nautilus is great, Olaf into Sejuani is great. But you have to be really good at Olaf, and your team has to execute. So Clutch has a draft where Elise is going to fall like a rock, and Irelia Sylas matchup is also shaky. So the only thing they really have going for their draft is their top lane and their bot lane, which they picked early. I felt their 4 and 5 were extremely weak. So this just becomes a draft where... yeah, either Huni carries you, either Huni or Cody-san carries you, but the mid and jungle is going to be a huge gaping hole. Olaf does solve a lot of those problems, but you have to be able to play Olaf, and you have to be able to snowball the game, and you have to be able to close the games well. And that's where Clutch actually struggles closing games well. If they are able to play Olaf, that would have been a perfect pick there, and it does fall right into their playstyle. His Lee Sin's good, but Lee Sin there was not the right pick. Damn, Smoothie looks so determined. Dude, Smoothie's someone that always gives you your 110%. I mean, people can shit on TSM all they want, but some of the players on their team, they tried their fucking asses off. Like Bjergsen and Smoothie, these are not players that like are just there to have a job. Hey Zoe, yeah. Smoothie just, everyone puts in effort. I'm not saying, actually I am saying some pro players are lazy and some pro players are there to be there. And some pro players try hard and some pro players just make their entire life about the game. And Smoothie and Bjergsen are players that make their entire life about the game. Alright, let's get into the game. The mid 2v2 is going to be so important, especially when it's Sylas Irelia. I love what TSM did regarding their matchup and also how they played with it. This E hitting was so good. So even without Spica being here, this trade is good, right? But this E hitting and then him getting a little bit of additional damage also with this Q. I was also like, wait, what the fuck are you doing here, Spica? And then there's calls made immediately because they have push bot side. You can see Smoothie roaming up right away. So the moment they got this chunk, they already have a game set on how they want to do like the dive in the next 30 seconds. They have their next 30-second plan and they know exactly what they want to get done. Going straight for the dive. Beautiful. And then replying to the dive that was done topside. This is a very typical Elise play. Elise is one of the best divers in the game because she can reset aggro. I mean, yeah, Elise starts the dive, she's tanking the aggro, and then she can reset the aggro, and then they finish off the dive, which they did. So normally, the mid laner can't TP like this, but Bjerg TPing straight because they got the kill, they have so much priority. Going to finish this off, Demonte matching the TP. And then fucking Broken Blade TPing in here also, and Smoothie roamed up from mid lane to top lane, so they're able to clean this. Beautiful, just beautifully done from TSM. The early chunk from Bjergsen and the follow-up dive from Smoothie to get mid control and to follow into this skirmish and punish them for doing this dive. So at this point, Clutch is absolutely fucking fucked. So the big problem, if you look, is this mid lane. Like mid and jungle duo is going to be so far behind, and it's very important that Elise stays ahead. As an Elise, the problem if you don't stay ahead is you're not going to be relevant if you can't threaten one shot on carries. When Elise doesn't have enough damage, she can threaten one shot on the Xayah. She can threaten, I can significantly chunk you out Bjerg. Like when Elise doesn't have that threat anymore, she's nearly worthless as a champion, and the only thing she can provide is Cocoon. Elise should almost always be building full damage, and Elise should almost always be ahead. If those criteria are not met, Elise becomes worthless really quickly. So this is already a game where the Elise is going to be worthless for the entire game due to how far behind she fell just from the early plays. Now TSM can control mid and jungle, and they can just dive bottom, they can dive top, they can make sure Elise can never contest on the 2v2. When Elise can't contest the mid jungle 2v2, then it's really hard for her to do things in top, hard for her to do things in bot lane. And TSM should just maintain control for the rest of the game, which they do. It's just how they end the game was really messy, but yeah, early game played out exactly how they wanted to. Oof, nice try, Broken Blade. Dude, Spica must be the world's best Sejuani or something. They were just so intent on getting him Sejuani over and over again. Broken Blade dying here, I mean, it gives Elise a slight into the game, but long as he doesn't miss that big of a wave, oh, the wave is frozen, he's actually kind of fucked. Never mind, Broken Blade's really fucked there. Wave frozen. His jungle jungling away from him. But the thing we talked about, mid and jungle gets control, walks bot side. They have 2 wards in here. They can't even contest, and this bot dive is inevitable. Oh, so here's a little misplay from Vulcan. So I'll play this in half speed so you guys can see it. I think if Vulcan tanks the Nautilus hook there, then potentially both of them can live. At the very least, Cody can live. The Cody's running away, gets 1 hit, 2 hit, 3 hit. Okay, never mind. Cody actually can't live. He got the stun on it. Stun. I was thinking what happens if Vulcan tanks the hook, but Cody also got stunned on top of this. Ugh, it would be really hard. Actually, if Vulcan tanks the hook, and then Cody flashes away, and there's a wall of minions to block Bjerg, Cody potentially could have made it out. Or yeah, Cody flashes here before the stun comes out, so he doesn't get hit by Nautilus hook in any direction. That's also a solution. I just don't think this should have been a double kill. I think one person should have died, but it shouldn't have been a double kill. But the way Clutch played it, they gave up both while burning flash and heal on both. This is like worst case situation. Burn 2 flashes and still both of them die. Lyra able to pick up the kill on the exit, but dying in the progress. Just Broken Blade has to make sure he can keep breathing top lane. All he has to do is breathe top lane. He doesn't even need to do anything. He just needs to make sure Huni's not going to take turret front of his face. Like, he doesn't fall behind like 100 CS or something terrible like that. He just has to make sure he can be relevant and he doesn't give Huni free kills over and over again, and that's all his job. Mid and jungle, get control, die bot lane. Mid and jungle, get control, die bot lane. That's all they need to do. It's really frustrating for carry players to be put on that role where all you have to do is nothing, but that's just kind of the situation Broken Blade's in right now. Do nothing and let rest of the map carry. Yep. This bot dive just gonna happen over and over again, and Elise and Irelia can't prevent it because they can't win the mid lane 2v2. So the only solution Clutch actually has here is to swap. It doesn't like entirely solve their situation if they swap here, and it is an extremely early swap, but still I think that was like one of the only things they could have done, like a swap to make sure they are just not put in this situation over and over again. TSM going for Herald. I mean, Clutch can't dare come near this Herald. If they do, it's just instant death. They can't even dream about going next to that Herald. TSM's so ahead right now. Yeah. Broken Blade doing camps, not staying at turret. Just making sure he doesn't die. That's literally his role right now. Don't die. Just try to get gold somewhere. See, the scary thing this game isn't the fact that TSM got ahead. The scary thing this game is TSM got so ahead and they weren't able to close out cleanly, and it took so much mistake from Clutch's end for TSM to actually win. TSM with really good rotation after they get... So Silas here can't be doped by these two people, so this 1v2 doesn't matter. Even with Elise here, I don't think Silas is in that much danger. But also the thing is, the Elise dive, it's going here, while the mid lane dive is happening right now. So TSM's doing this on much faster tempo anyways. So they do their play on much faster tempo, they're on top of the turret, they can threaten this more. So Clutch going to defend their tempo, Clutch going to defend the play. They're not able to really pressure top side, so they're just losing both lanes at once. And even on bot lane, TSM has so much wards in enemy jungle, they'll know exactly when GP is moving, they know exactly when someone's going to dive Aatrox. TSM just has full control of the game right now, and it's really up to TSM to make a mistake or keep snowballing, and Clutch just doesn't have that many ways into the game. The only way they make, like, they get into the game, they get a way to get back into the game is like an insane Elise pick on someone, insane Rakan ult W, or TSM like making a big mistake. Alright, now just the next step for TSM is to get this turret. Get pressure topside from Silas, go pressure. Broken Blade can't really build pressure, but Silas going and threatening this, Nautilus going and threatening this, they just have a lot of ways to get mid turret. Once they get this control again, they're gonna do it. I don't like this that much. Like, they're playing for a second turret on top side instead of playing for first turret on mid. I think first turret mid is so much more valuable. I just don't understand why they want this turret so badly. I mean, sure, they get the kill on Irelia. But the play should have been for this. I guess they wanted to further their lead. Yeah, they lose 2 turrets in the process. They lost 2 turret while they just got 1 turret. Like, TSM, you're so ahead. This kind of shit shouldn't be happening. You should be getting mid turret and then forcing GP out from bot lane. Ugh. Oh my god. I just don't understand. Like, pressure mid side. Like, why? This was so stupid. Whatever. But like, these little mistakes, even when they're so ahead, the decision making bothers me so much. Game 1 being so ahead and not utilizing the J split push. This game being so ahead, not taking mid turret first and allowing GP to get 2 turrets bot side. Like, oh, this is what's so frustrating. I guess. Keep killing Demonte. Mid pressure is really what's important. Why they can't just like focus on this side lane thing is they need to constantly push mid, and once they get a certain amount of vision bot side, it's really hard for GP to push this up, and it's really hard for GP to get this kind of free roam. That's why mid control is so important, and TSM should know that. Like, that's been their bread and butter. Mid control into side lanes, mid control into side lanes, and I don't know why they're not doing any of that. Like, this kind of shit, like, clutch minion should not ever be on TSM turret. Like, it should be TSM with the control. But what's happening is they're splitting the map, where this half of the map is TSM's map, and this half of the map is clutch map. And that's way better for clutch. When you're behind, you want split map situations. When you're ahead, you want to take over the whole map, and you don't want to allow teams into split map situations. Setting up for Dragon. What the fuck is this 0 stack Medjay? Oh my god. He kept this Medjay for such a long time too. I just don't fucking understand. I can't see the kill score right now. It's like what? It's like 3 to what? 3 to 11th? Is it 3 to 11 or 3 to 14? It's 3 to 11 and you buy a fucking 0 stack Medjay. Jesus fuck. TSM with the 20-minute Baron because they have double Inferno. I guess map split. Clutch, maybe TSM just kept baiting Clutch into this map split so they can get Baron control and they can do a 20-minute Baron. Maybe that's what it was, but I'm telling you how TSM played their early game after they got their lead was so shit. Well, they keep killing Demonte. That's a thing. Alright, splitting 3 lanes, playing 1-3-1. Crashing the waves at the same time. These are good basics. Oh, Broken Blade. What should you do here, Broken Blade? The correct answer is run away. I guess they had a pink word here, so he didn't know Vulcan would be waiting, but his job in the game is to play safe as possible and don't allow Huni to just run rampant. This is like a case where he's letting Huni run rampant, checking into him. Take the start. It's so crucial that TSM takes this back right here. I know there's like a minute left on Baron, but they earn so much gold by taking Baron and getting multiple turrets. They have so much gold that they need to spend that I'm very okay with taking that back here. Third Inferno. This is really the nail in the coffin. A problem with Third Inferno for opposing teams is there's only 3 of a single dragon that's ever spawned. So if you get 3 Infernos, it means the enemy team cannot get a single Inferno. So your team fighting strength is just going to be immense. Like the enemy team can never catch up to you in terms of strength, in terms of team fighting. Keep waiting, wait for the dragon, wait for the Baron. They shouldn't try to siege. That's one of the ways they can lose. They should just wait the dragons and the Barons. Wait for the next Baron. It should be very soon. Yeah, 30 seconds until Baron. Get next Baron, split push 3 lanes, and it should be pretty GG. I can't believe how that fight happens last side. So they're starting on Lyra, they're starting on Huni. Broken Blade pretty much kills himself trying to kill Huni. Yeah, he killed himself trying to kill Huni. Okay. They finally get Huni. Oh, what happened to Zben? Where is Zben taking the damage from? So Broken Blade killed himself killing Huni. Zben full HP. Full HP. Oh, you got knocked up here. This ult on Lyra is a little premature from Huni. Zben gets knocked up here. Irelia, Blaze, and Kai'Sa comes in. Holy shit, he just straight walked in to the Rakan knockup. That's no good. Yeah, the top laner killed himself and the AD just got killed. AD just got knocked up where he shouldn't have. So they were down almost 2 people. And the barrel hit. Okay, I was wondering where that burst was coming from. TSM looks like their level of CG should be an easy 3-0. I know you're trolling Ender, but even when I was watching this series, and even when they were up 2-0, the way they were winning was just so bad. And there were so many things fundamentally wrong with the team. I didn't feel confident even when they were up 2-0. Sometimes when you're up 2-0, you're like, oh man, we got this. This game is over. Sometimes when you're up 2-0, you're like, holy fucking shit, we barely scraped by those 2 wins. Yeah, this was such a botched team fight from Broken Blade and Zavendo. If they play it a little bit slower and they let like the front line go in, and also Smoothie ult on Lyra was just so weird. Let's watch it one last time. Just look at Smoothie ult here too. I think that was also just weird. Just hold ult. What the fuck is the Elise gonna do? Hold ult. Ult on Irelia or Kaisa with way higher value. Why not use ult on GP? GP should just insta-die there. He's trapped against the wall. Doesn't have flash. Two stacks on Medjay, poggers. Also, yeah, but they just should have waited Baron too. Baron was coming. Oh, why, how, why, and how? Mid has prio. Just, oh no, this is what I mean regarding like, ugh. So Zben needs to be a little bit over here. And Broken Blade, after hitting a little bit, has to be like just slightly back. It's like little things, but people have to be way more ready to turn. They're not ready to turn. Like whenever Smoothie is autoing someone here, they need to be in a position where they can help Smoothie right away. They just weren't that ready to turn. Bjergsen's also too late. Oh, you're so ahead. These kind of mistakes should not be happening. Oh. Yes, it's Smoothie's mistake for getting bursted there, but also like the team as a whole should be coordinated. Oh my god, you should never be losing fights with 3 Infernos. Oh, just so fucking tragic. It's not like they have bad turn tools. They have Nautilus, Silas, Sejuani, Aatrox. They have so many tools they can turn with, but they're just so fucking garbage at like identifying how they're gonna turn. They were just so bad at identifying. We're going to start Baron. What are we going to do? We're going to start Baron. How are we going to turn on them? After we start Baron, when they start coming into us, what are we going to be doing? Like, that has to be decided before people even walk into you. And the way they're playing this shit, it doesn't look like they know how they want to do it. Hooney's actually so funny. Like, Hooney's just unapologetically himself in and out of the game. It's so great to watch. Oh my god, though. I would never want to like coach or manage Hooney. I bet he's a handful. But as a spectator, I love watching him. Well, the GP's level 18 before anyone. And how many items does he have? Does he have 3 or 4 right now? Okay, he has 4 fucking items. Sven has 4 fucking items. Or not Sven, GP. Level 18, 4 item GP. Oh, Barrel's doing 1.1k crit. Jesus. My goodness. How do they even win this game? At this point, game has kind of flipped. The only thing TSM has going for them is 3 Infernos. When do you think the game should have ended if TSM wasn't fumbling? I think if TSM wasn't fumbling, this bot fight goes a lot cleaner, or they don't take this bot fight at all. They set up for the second Baron, they take the second Baron, and while this inhibitor is down, they do 1, 3, 1, and they just get these 2 inhibs, and then they end the game. It's like that second Baron sequence where TSM started fucking up a lot and Clutch started winning team fights. Oh. Cody up in front. Here, Vulcan getting locked down and like Vulcan getting ulted, so I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but he's Fedge ulted right now. So he got Fedge ulted as he was trying to go on Spica. Oh shit, I have it on double speed. Let's play. Oh, I have it on single speed. Yeah, Vulcan getting locked down. Here, him getting Fedge ulted was so crucial. So they don't get the engage they want. Devontae's able to kill Smoothie pretty cleanly. Huni getting caught on this side and rest of the team on being this side. Huni getting split off there was really bad. What happened to Huni? How did he die so quickly? Huni. Going for the barrel here. Got hooked. Got rooted. Spica queued him. And then Bjerg finished him off. Wow, he didn't flash that. If Huni flashed over to this side and killed Broken Blade and Spica, this fight is over. TSM can't go in this choke. If Huni's putting down barrels here, TSM can't make it past this choke. If Huni flashed over, this fight, they would have won this fight. Yeah, and Demonte can try to buy time with Irelia up there. Damn. Wow, Huni actually threw the game. He won them the game in a lot of ways, but he also threw this fight. Yep, and then just TSM cleaning up. So much of Clutch's gold and so much of Clutch's strength were on Huni. They could have baited Baron, they could have executed that fight better, but that fight right there costed them so much. This one minion is winning them the game. Why so is if there's a minion near a turret, the turrets lose their armor. If there is no minion, turrets have like twice their armor, so it's impossible to kill turrets when there aren't minions. So that minion staying alive means TSM can end the game. If that minion didn't stay alive, that means TSM couldn't have ended. Alright, that's game 2. This is a game where TSM should have won, and they fucked up so much, so the game became a game that Clutch should have won. And then Clutch botched their final fight and they didn't set up for Baron, so Clutch lost. So it was like TSM threw, and then Clutch threw, and then TSM threw, and then Clutch threw at the very end. Alright, let's go to next game. Game 3 is going to be really crucial for both teams. This is the game where TSM can close it out and make it a clean 3-0, despite kind of the messy start to everything. And this is the game where Clutch can start coming back. TSM has shown a lot of flaw in their decision making in terms of how they're seizing, how they're playing out their side lanes, their fight selection. Yeah, just I'm listing on pretty much every single part about mid game. They're just so much work needs to be done on TSM's end, and they're just not complete as a team. And if I can put one thing on it, it's they're not playing together. They do a lot of things separately. When they're grouped up as 5, they look very lost. They have strong individual players, and there's parts that are very easy for them to do, like mid priority into bottom dive. How do we get Bjergsen ahead? Like, I mean, they just kept diving Demonte over and over again in a side lane instead of holding on to mid side, and they almost gave up 2 turrets on bot lane. There are just so many bad things that TSM did despite being so ahead. So it feels like they still only really know how to play through Bjerg, and that's been a huge problem for them for such a long time. So yeah, let's hope they show us they can clean up, they can fix their mid game. But that's not what happened, is it? Rumble ban, GP ban, very normal. Hopefully Yuumi Sona ban. I don't like them banning Akali second. I would much rather they ban Sona second, because if they're going to ban Sona anyways, why ban it second? There's a very small chance that TSM bans Akali, but 0 chance they ban Sona. So I probably would want a order switch, but it's not that big of a deal. Sejuani first pick once again with Skarner ban, been working out for them so far. I thought Clutch lost with these Ezreal Tahm Kench picks here. So here's the thing about Ezreal Tahm Kench that makes it pretty bad in NA, and why I think so many teams fail with Ezreal Tahm Kench in NA while they do really well with Ezreal and Tahm Kench in other regions. A core part about Ezreal Tahm Kench is using the Tahm Kench ult efficiently once you get mid lane prio to really threaten side lanes, and also in team fights it's ping-ponging aggro with Ezreal and Tahm Kench. If you just do damage from the backline as Ezreal, he's not a really strong champion. If you are being in middle of the team fight trying to land Qs on crucial carry targets, that's a really good Ezreal. And if you can aggro the ping pong where people try to target you and you burn their cooldowns and you arcane shift out, or when people try to be aggressive and Tahm Kench eats someone that's just about to take fatal damage, like these are extremely strong things you can do in team fights, but it's playing on a knife's edge to get that full benefit of playing Ezreal and a Tahm Kench, and NA teams just don't do it that well. That's why I hated Ezreal Tahm Kench here for Clutch. Just traditionally, it's been something really hard to execute, and NA teams have been terrible at it. Yep, Gauntlet was on 9.15. Silas Aatrox just carrying over their top side from last game. Kiana. This is going to be Kiana without a Sejuani, and easily Kiana without a Gragas. They can ban both. Or Sejuani's taken, they can ban Gragas. I feel like Kiana loses a lot of her power when she's not paired with the right jungler. I was thinking Clutch has to ban Kai'Sa, they have to ban Xayah, they have to ban Sivir. There's so many 80 carries that they have to ban. The 80 carry bans weren't that worth it. If anything, I would have actually liked some support bans. Yep, TSM banning Gragas. They just don't want let Kiana have good ADs to play with. Elise. I actually probably would have opened Elise. Lyra's Elise was so bad. I would have even banned Jarvan before I banned Elise. What do you take here? Jarvan. I think they were deciding between like Lucian, Sivir, and Kalista. Overall, I was pretty happy with the Lucian pick. I think Sivir pick here becomes a lot weaker when they have Jarvan. If they banned Jarvan here instead, I think Sivir here is actually an amazing pick. Yeah, but Sivir just is so sucky versus Jarvan. You're short range, so you're always in danger of EQ. You can't do anything once he ults you. I would have loved the Pyke here. Pyke to disjoint Jarvan. Pyke plays really well into Tahm Kench. They do the hover. They tease us with it. I would have loved it, but it's just not in their pool. Imagine they pick Pyke here. They 3-0. Break the NA Pyke meme. Oh man. I would have loved that. Irelia. Almost a full AD comp, but they can kind of salvage it by Ezreal going AP. they banned at least to force all AD on CG. And that is a thing. I'm trying to think if there was other AP champions that could have been played top lane for Huni. Probably not, there aren't other AP champions, but this full AD isn't even that big of a deal. Honestly, it really isn't, unless you have like double tanks, and they don't have double tanks. And Ezreal's gonna build. Ezreal build when he goes Ludens and he goes Sword Pen boost is majorly AP anyways. They can't pick Vlad here. Vlad into Aatrox would be really bad for them. Vlad would never be relevant in the game. Like, it takes such a long time for Vladimir to be relevant over Aatrox, and that's not Huni's playstyle either. Huni's playstyle is lane bully. Alright, let's get to it. Clutch backs against the wall. Have to win 3 in a row. Have to win 3 in a row or they're out of it. I love that Lucian skin though. They could take Karma into Aatrox. Yeah, I'm not about that life. Irelia isn't a lane bully. The way Huni plays it and the amount of jungle help he receives, he definitely plays it like a lane bully. I mentioned that in Face Check, but whenever you play against Huni, he's always asking the opposing team this question: can you handle the Huni? This game isn't won or lost off of draft. There's games in this series where draft was god awful, but this game both team has a playable draft. The Bjerg's walking this side to place the ward. That's why he's walking directly into Jarvan. I'm curious if he had E here. He E's to the side, he still would have to flash because Demonte would land the Q on him. Just the timing is so unfortunate for Bjerg. Because Jarvan's doing such a weird gank path thing. He's doing blue, Gromp, Wolves, and then going straight to blue, ganking. Like, this is not a normal path. So the timing was a little off, but if you're gonna gank players like Bjerg, you need to do stuff like this. Early flash burn. Bot side winning, pretty normal. Pretty meh for Bjerg getting forced to burn both teleport and flash so early. So next bit of his early game is going to be a little bit passive. This one, I thought it was kind of crazy because amount of creeps they have, and they know Jarvan's going to be near because he hasn't done red yet. I feel like this could have gone so badly for TSM. And Demonte using stealth there and getting out, but yeah, like Bjerg lost half his HP just TPing back to lane. And even like that skirmish, if it goes wrong, it's so bad because they have so much creeps to play off of too. Oof. Oh, this trade is so bad. Why this trade is so bad is Broken Blade sets himself up for a dive by doing that trade. If he's full HP, Huni and Lyra can't dive. But cause he lost HP here, like that's why he's diveable and that's why he loses this giant wave. Imagine he's full HP here. Like he just doesn't get dove. Watch what happens because of this dive. He's forced to back. He loses this wave. Oh, Spica. Just let him go. Spica, let him go. Spica dies. Broken Blade gets his reset. What is it? Fucked. He still hasn't reset yet. He loses the second wave. So he loses full 2 waves. It's not just losing the CS. It's also losing the XP. And you know what the problem here is now? The wave is pushing away from him. Jungler died, Burning Flash. Broken Blade loses full 2 waves and his wave's pushing away from him. As a top laner, that's a nightmare situation. And on top of that, you lose your own flash. Like, he's just absolutely fucked in that situation. Just absolutely fucked. Spica going back in and dying to Irelia and giving up First Blood. Yes, definitely a Spica problem. But Broken Blade trading with the Irelia with the weight built up and his jungler nowhere nearby and allowing himself to lose HP and be potentially diveable, 100% a Broken Blade problem. It's very easy to say like, oh, Spica like fucked this shit up, but Broken Blade put himself in a shitty situation even before Spica was involved. Top lane is gonna be a constant hole. Also, another thing about like diving Qiyana that's so bullshit, or trying to play against Qiyana, the champion has so much dashes and she also has a stealth. She's nearly unkillable. And TSM's just so focused on making things happen in mid lane. I mean, I guess they don't have any other options than making things happen in mid lane due to how top lane went. But Qiyana's just, that champion's so toxic to play versus. Broken Blade also lost a little bit of HP, or a little bit of XP there. It's not just losing the CS that's a problem, it's losing XP. Wait, what the fuck? How did Huni get full mana? He had like no mana. Huni had 0 mana. Oh, he kills the Scuttle, gets mana back, and then he gets all the fruits and gets the mana back. Okay. Wow, he went from like no mana to almost full mana instantly. I don't know how this one happened. Huni roaming down. Jungler on the other side. Wow, Spica actually caught him here. Spica waiting in the brush because Broken Blade called Huni's moving down. Good job of following up. Bjergsen stole Qiyana ult, flash Qiyana ult, stunned him against the wall. Oof. Huni had no shot at living there. And then why go in here? Demonte. What is the thought process of going in here? Let's actively rush into a 3v2. What the hell? They actively rushed into a 3v2. This is with Ezreal ult hitting there too. And Lyra at level 5. They were low? They were not low. Weird and freaky. Let's check the HP bar of everyone. The lowest person is Spica. And he's at like 80% HP. They're nowhere near low. They don't have cooldowns. That's like the only thing. And Ezreal ult is coming. But this is just still such an unwinnable fight. It's a level 6 Sejuani and a level 5 Jarvan. They're down an ultimate also. This was such a good opener from Spica. Like getting this open here and Bjergsen stealing Qiyana ult and reacting immediately with it, beautiful. Beautiful. TSM with Watt Prio taking Inferno. Oh, it's 10 minutes. Scuttle o'clock. Scuttle o'clock. Oh god, I'll talk about why this fight was bad. There's two things that happened here that made this fight bad. Here's two people I want you to look at. I want you to look at Zben, and I want you to look at Smoothie. We'll go one by one and see why they fucked up. So Smoothie here, he's trying really hard to get onto Demonte. He did the R flash W pretty cleanly. Like, the timing of it was pretty good. Flashed. Oh, he barely missed it. If he gets this knock up on Demonte, Demonte gets one shot there. So this is where Smoothie fucked up. So he misses his R flash W. And then Zben here, just out of position. Not flashing the EQ, not flashing the EQ, and gets one shot. So Smoothie fucking up like that, Zben fucking up like that means they just totally lose this fight. And then Spica getting eaten. If Smoothie hits his engage properly on Demonte, Demonte insta-dives, and then TSM can win that fight. If Zben flashes the Jarvan EQ and he keeps kiting, then TSM can also potentially win that fight. I would say that's more of a well played by Demonte than a fuck up from Smoothie, because he does this like extremely smoothly and he's doing it really fast. Here comes the hero play, the 10-minute hero play we're all waiting for. Oh, really good job to wait here. One thing that TSM figured out that, what is it, Clutch does and they use against him so much, is in the Herald setup, Clutch always pink wards two places. They pink ward here, and they pink ward here, but never here. So they feel so safe. So TSM's always waiting here, because Clutch never wards this brush. If you watch Clutch play, they never ward this brush. So TSM places a pink here, and whenever Clutch is walking to Herald, they are able to catch people from this brush. It's so hilarious. They did their research, and it's good on TSM to realize what Clutch's warding pattern is, but it's so funny that this works every time. Got him. You see how Demonte's placing the ward over and he's not warding here? This means TSM gets Herald because they're able to one-shot Demonte. That's where good research and a good analyst really proves their worth. Stuff like this. And TSM has like 20 coaching staff, so that's proving their worth. All they have to do is get out. They don't have to worry about taking a big fight. What the how did he get killed there? Okay, so they don't show it fully, but Demonte was recalling here and Demonte was waiting here and he caught Broken Blade coming in. Yeah. Wait. He didn't catch this dusty thing being popped on the minimap, this dust. Wait, it shows globally. It shows on the minimap when the dust pops. Oh no. He's like, a ghost must have popped that plant. And yeah, you can see something, right? You can see the animation. What is he doing? I really want to understand Demonte's thought process here. I think he wanted to flank, and that's what Demonte's thought process. He knows they have a pink ward here, so Demonte's looking for a flank here. So let's play this slowly. So he's looking for a flank. He's waiting. They check in. He's like, okay, I ulted them. I queued them. I'm out. Like, if you see them walk in with the trinket and you get shown, just keep running away. You can run away, or you can even run this way, and if they chase you, just have rest of your team start dragon and take dragon. I like the idea of the flank there, but the exit and like burning everything just to exit there was really awkward. Why is Huni up so much CS? It's because of what happened in the early game, and also Clutch is willing to play side lanes where TSM just constantly wants to group and team fight. Yes, he did get Aatrox ult, but that was more of a byproduct. He didn't purposely get Aatrox ult. And also, somehow Clutch is able to take Dragon after Demonte uses ult and then he jumps out. Why did TSM not contest there? So Demonte popped over, Broken Blade used ult, and they don't feel confident enough, they can go in. I guess they also don't have vision in any parts of the river. Okay, so Clutch had better setup from the start. Clutch had better setup from the start, so TSM couldn't check in. The play wasn't that good, it's just Clutch's setup was so good that it didn't really matter if Demonte used his ult like that. Huge problem right now. Huni level 11, Broken Blade level 10. Huni up about 70 CS on Broken Blade. Huge fucking problem. They can never win side lanes. They also have to deal with Tahm Kench. Ooh, that one shot. Is that even legal? Wow, it's not even without a flash. He just wallbanged them and one shot. Holy shit. Is that champion even legal? Clutch has so much side lane control. Kiana better than Sylas right now. Irelia better than Aatrox by a mile. It's also one of the benefits of Kiana running Ignite. It gives her so much one-shot potential. Broken Blade gonna get shoved in every time. Huni can do whatever the hell he wants. Also here, Demonte ends up dying because TSM is a really good engage. And also, game 1 through 3, all their plays have been made through Bjergsen, and it's been, even when Bjergsen's in a side lane, it's being made on the lane that Bjergsen's in. But even this kind of play, right? If Demonte reacts slightly better to it and he flashes the engage and he gets the stealth from the brush, it becomes impossible to kill also. So Kiana has like really strong offensive tools, but also really strong defensive tools. As for the Kench thing, so there's a person in the chat asking if I can talk about how Clutch utilizes Kench really well. It's some of the side lane usage, but also mainly it's in team fights. We'll definitely talk about it. Clutch giving up top turret to get this Inferno. Also threatening mid turret. So it's not just like they give up top and they get Inferno, they also get mid lane on top of it. They get so much even with this. Long as they don't lose their second turret, they should be fine. Lost a lot of HP on it, but didn't end up losing it. Spend here. And then you can see the bottom control. Like, look at amount of control Clutch has bot side. Pink ward there, ward there, ward there. They have so much control from bot side. So they end up going to defend this. Lucian feels so safe. He feels like he can walk up and clear this. He should never be doing this. Like, Lyra fucked up everything and Zben still died. Lyra fucked up his EQ flash. Zben still died there. Good job on Lyra to hold this ult until Zben dashes. But this bot side control that Clutch has just means so much for them, and they're able to get multiple things, not just the turret. Why is Zben being left for dead? Zben had to feel, I know he had to play safe there. How does Lyra have 3 times Pika vision score every game? So one thing Lyra does is he highly prioritizes pink wards. And he also sweeps almost religiously. Lyra is just such a good jungler when it comes to vision. So you can bash Lyra for a lot of things, but when it comes to vision control, Lyra is one of the best at it. It's not that Spica, oh, he has such shitty vision score. Like, Spica probably has a little bit less than average, but Lyra, like, his rune setup, how he plays, the amount of wards he buys, how he sweeps, a lot of things play into him having really high vision score. This kind of play is really good though. It's still playing through Bjergsen. Well, actually this one isn't playing through Bjergsen. This one is shadowing Broken Blade and Huni getting overconfident here and thinking he can kill Broken Blade and TSM waiting perfectly. This kind of play is actually really good, being able to put Huni behind and making sure Huni has to feel scared about just killing Broken Blade like that. Now it's still coming down to side lanes, and how side lane plays is really important. And the CS gap between Aatrox and Irelia never closed up, so even though Aatrox is supposed to outscale and beat the Irelia, that point is never coming. Just Irelia is so far ahead. Yeah, the amount of control that Huni can, exert from bot side makes it so fucking hard. Broken Blade can never match Huni. They need to do like that kind of 3-man play on Huni again. Can you see, like, I would love it when the observers did. This is TSM vision. This is just pure TSM vision. Do you see how little control they have? Do you see how hard it is for them to check into here? How hard it is for Aatrox to even, like, when Aatrox gets pushed here, he has to move like this. He can't go here, he can't go here. There are just no places where Aatrox can move safely other than through his own base. Like, TSM has such little vision control, and Clutch is just slowly choking them. And what to say about this fight? Clutch is massively ahead. Wow, that came pretty close. Actually, we can talk about the fight a bit. Let's see how it starts. Starts with Cody. Remember what I said about aggro ping pong? This is where it's going to show up. I'll show you what makes Clutch really good at playing Ezreal and top catch. So let's define what aggro ping pong is. Aggro ping pong is where you force the enemy team to not be able to target the person they want to target and make sure no one on your team really dies while eating spells and eating bit cooldowns so people have space to do stuff they want. Cody coming in first. He gets knocked up here. Vulcan flashing. Vulcan. Okay, he fucked up a little because he auto someone where he should have flash eaten Cody right away. But Cody staying alive. Vulcan helping with the aggro ping pong. TSM not able to finish off the targets. And they don't have the reach to go for the backline targets. So Cody can still stay and do damage. This wasn't the greatest example of aggro ping pong, but it is an example of it. And also you can see Cody going full AP build with the Thork Pen boots. Gunblade, he's probably going to get Ludens. Making sure his team isn't quite full AD. Oh, how did Sedge get caught there? Rushing straight there with Kenschult. Okay, I won't gloss over Zven dying if that's what you guys want. Hey, he's just playing up here. He doesn't really like, and remember what we talked about? They don't have vision on Huni, so stuff like this is really hard to catch. He's just put in a really tough position as AD carry. Okay, and then Spica, it was just him being in the wrong spot. That Huni flank, it's hard for Zben to catch because they have so little vision, as we talked about before. Yeah, I really don't like him shooting W there. He should have been far back. Okay, that one actually might be Zben's fault. Why did he shoot W? He should have just kept walking back. He needs to maintain about this much distance. Walk back, just walk back. Don't walk closer to them. Yeah, he walked closer to them to shoot W. Okay, never mind. He hella trolled. Okay, I'm trolling. He hella trolled there. He walked back to W. Okay, never mind. He's hella trolling. Spica trying to flank. Yeah, I'm not sure flanking is gonna work when your AD carry's dead. Okay, never mind. TSM's trolling. Jesus. Well, TSM flanking isn't really gonna work unless Bjergsen gets like an insane Kiana ult steal. Yeah, and Demonte doing a good job of keeping Bjerg away, keeping Smoothie away. Huni basically soloing people on his own. Huni just soloed 2 people on his own here. Look at Huni. Ult. Killed Zben by himself. Oh, look at Ezreal here too. Great eat. Ezreal gets popped out. Tom Kinch did his job. Ezreal can't be killed. Holy fuck, Huni soloed 2 people by himself, and then the backline just played 4v3. Yeah, this was really stompy, and this is where like the Broken Blade versus Huni thing started happening, and this was like the start of Broken Blade versus Huni is gonna be a huge problem for the rest of the series. Also, Demonte playing a lot more responsibly than he did in game 2. This wasn't the greatest example of Tom Kench ping pong, Ezreal ping pong. I think it happens a lot more in game 4 and 5, and we'll talk about it a lot more. Alright guys, we got game 4 coming up. In the first 3 games, a huge problem that popped up was Huni demolishing Broken Blade. And it's getting worse and worse, so I think that was the real core problem that TSM was really not able to find a solution to. Yes, TSM has their macro problems, yes, they have their mid-game problems, but a lot of it they just bypass by doing things through Bjergsen and also Clutch being messy. But now Clutch is really realizing if we lean heavily into this Huni Broken Blade mismatch, that's where we have them. And the sad thing is, Broken Blade used to be one of TSM's best players, and now he's one of the people that enemy teams can exploit. It's just, oh my, how the turntables have turned. Let's start, boys. I'll skip through this. I want to go straight to pick and ban. Sona Jace. Clutch not allowing the Jace pick through, not allowing Sona. They're gonna. This is a free ban. They're basically for. Wow. Why are they banning Yuumi from blue? They're so afraid to even pick Yuumi from blue. This is actually hampering their draft so much. Being forced to ban both Yuumi and Sona from blue. I cannot believe they win this series, even when they're so fucked in drafts like this. Skarner first pick. This was Clutch's solution and CLG's solution to Clutch and their best of 5. Like, Lyra is actually really dependent on Skarner. Seju Zaya. Really curious why they just don't do Zaya Rakan. Are they that afraid of like playing versus Caitlyn Morg? I don't think it's that big of a problem. I think good enough Zaya Rakan duos can beat Caitlyn Morg, especially when the jungler isn't something like a Jarvan. When a jungler is something like a Skarner, I don't think it's something you have to worry about that much. I mean, they end up doing Zaya Rakan anyways, they just gave them an opportunity. I think if they're willing to do Zaya Rakan and they're not willing to do Zaya and Rakan on 1 and 2, it just means they're afraid of Caitlyn Morgana and they don't want to get double counterpicked. I think that's what it's really saying. Kiana ban. Corki Adzir. If they're banning Corki, I also want the Adzir ban with it. Do you agree with LS that teams all across the world are really bad at drafting? I think LS gets lost in theory of things sometimes. I do agree with LS, like recently, teams have been doing some really questionable drafts even within their pool. But sometimes LS expects teams to play everything or be able to execute very technical drafts. But I agree with the sentiment. I agree with the statement that teams have been especially bad at drafting this year. But I don't think like teams are just like downright god awful at drafting. It's 1, 2, potentially 3, 4 bans on Huni. This Camille ban makes Aatrox pick really good for Huni, and it also makes Gnar pick really good. The Camille ban really opens up Gnar, because Camille is the normal counter into Gnar, and Camille plus Sedger is something that can bust open Gnar. I'm very curious if TSM read that. When they banned Camille, they were trying to play Gnar, and if they potentially read it fine, that they could have just played Gnar here. Are you a better kisser than LS? That's something you're gonna have to ask your dad about. Okay, that Azir pick. Cause they had to ban Camille, they couldn't ban Azir there. So Azir actually ended up going through. Interesting draft from Clutch. I thought this was the draft where Clutch was gonna lose because they have so many hard to execute parts like Ezreal, Tahm Kench, Gnar. Like they have so many things they have to get just right. They do have comfort on Lyra. Demonte Silas, not the best, not the worst. So this is like a neutral pick. Very hard to execute bot lane, hard to execute top lane. So I'm very curious how they're gonna be able to pull this. On the other hand, for TSM, they have what's called the Exodia comp. These are the mega strong, very good at team fighting, pretty decent at split pushing, just extremely strong champions in the meta. This was, I think, TL's Game 1 draft and the finals, and Cloud9 drafted weird stuff like Xin Zhao, Thresh, Veigar, and they weren't able to win with it. So let's see how TSM's able to pull this off. Skip over. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm Pepega. Oh, wrong. Oh my. I'm Pepega. Pro streamer, by the way. This comp is really relying on 131, and they don't have any form of engage. Their best form of engage is Skarner with Predator, so there is a lot of burden of execution on Clutch's end. They need to 131 well, they need to make sure they don't fall behind, they need to make sure they play well with vision to make sure people are getting forced into them. Huni building early lead, Gnar versus Aatrox, just very normal parts of range versus melee matchup. Huni is just an extremely high pressure player. And meta's just been getting better and better for him. The Rumble picks, the Gangplank picks, and then this Gnar pick and Irelia pick. Bot lane going pretty normal. Zyra Khan getting prio. Jungling also going to be very little action in the early parts of the game. Both Sejuani and Skarner wants to hit level 6, and there aren't lanes that are incredibly gankable. This was a fuck up on Huni's part in the trade. Broken Blade able to build a nice lead there. Just early game playing out pretty normal. Not much to really comment on. I guess the only thing that was really weird was Huni getting chunked by Broken Blade, losing lane priority, and being forced to burn TP. That's like the biggest weird thing that happened. Bjergsen double Doran ring. A little bit more investment into early game. TSM got a lot of deep wards here, but Lyra able to spot out the deep wards, and as he started clearing them, he cleared this one, he's clearing that one. Yeah, he picked off all the deep wards that TSM got immediately. And then a lot of people asked about how Lyra has extremely high vision score because he has ghost wars, and he's always buying pinks, and he's always clearing wars, and he's very good about predicting where wars are. That's why he gets such insane vision score. Yeah, already at 12 vision score while Sejuani's at 2. And it's not really like a huge thing like a vision score, but that's something people are curious about, so at least that's my answer. Bjergsen with a 0 ult. Kuni came down to try to fuck with them, forced to burn flash. Lyra hit level 6 earlier, threatened, but nothing to get there. Oof. This is really bad. So you can flash Skarner's ult to disjoint it, and because they had vision here and they saw Lyra walk through, this should have never been able to happen. Like Zeben getting ulted here instead of flashing the flash Skarner ult never should have happened. Also, they kind of miscoordinated the pull. So he missed Q on a target that's suppressed. And they're able to kill him anyways, but it's funny that they missed a Q on a target that was suppressed. TSM trying to look for a return kill, but Bjergsen doesn't have ult here from using it earlier. Spica not level 6, so there's nothing to get in return. TSM trying to early Ocean Drake as a reply to them using their cooldowns and Demonte backing. Able to get the Ocean Drake. Able to make it out safely. Nice. Huni had to walk all the way down too. Oof! It's Ben. How'd you get caught there? It looks like everyone's walking out safely. Just keep walking. Just keep walking. Ugh. Wait, I still don't understand. Oh, the Tom Kench tongue. Oh, and Demonte flash queued afterwards. Smoothie tanked as much as possible and then backed off. That wasn't Zeben's fault. That was just they were exiting and Zeben was the one without the escape tools. And also, he's so close to level 6 and he didn't get level 6 and he's dying right before getting level 6 feels so fucking bad. And also, the fact that he died using flash initially in the first gank is also really bad. Clutch doing the early lane swap to make sure they're ready for Herald. Because Huni's bot fight anyways. Huni doesn't have TP, so if he wants to fight for the Herald, he's gonna have to walk up. Oh my god, did Lyra get that red from him also? Level 6 to level 5, or level 7 to level 6. Wow, so this is a pretty hard smite for Lyra, because even though he's higher level, he's not in range to do any damage other than smite, and Spica has his auto plus smite, and Lyra just timed it better than Spica's auto smite, so he's able to get it. Oh wait, no, Spica got it. Holy fuck, I got confused for a sec. Oh my god, I'm trolling. Never mind that. Yeah, because I was like, damn, that's so fucking hard because you have to do it between the stun auto smite where you land your smite before he can hit the stun. And I was like, holy fuck, how do you do that? And it turns out he didn't do it. CG with their early Herald. Let's slow down. Definitely going to be a fight here. Both Huni and Broken Blade walking up. Lyra not finishing Herald all the way. CG doing their best to poke. Also still Sejuani ult. Here's the thing. TSM, if you guys were going to go in, you had to go in now. But if you weren't going to go in, you had to stay in your lanes and push. And with Huni moving first, and then having bot prio, and TSM having such little vision and being forced to walk in through a choke, they should have realized this Herald was impossible. The mistake isn't, oh, why didn't they go in for this? The mistake is they could have never gone in for this. They should have backed up earlier. Oof. Hero play on enemy's recall. Bjergsen forced to buy QSS first item. Zben 0 and 2. Oh my god, TSM's bleeding everywhere. They have to pay Skarner taxes. Both their side lanes are losing. They're losing everywhere. Also, Huni's staying far outside of turret range so he doesn't get dove. They're just so practiced in running this hero play. Good catch. Not sure what Lyra was trying to do there. He was trying to buff up his even insane vision score to... He was trying to buff up his vision score to an even more insane point. Over obsessing about worth. Should have played back when Bjergsen can potentially roam up there. TSM getting that dragon off of Lyra dying. I wouldn't say this comp is necessarily low damage, but this comp is very important for Azir and Xayah to be constantly dealing out consistent damage. Two of their major damage threat, one forced to spend 1,300 gold on a defensive item, and the other one being down 0-2 is like a little bit of a warning of what's to come. Azir and Xayah are bursty champions. They're very much, we need to be given space to auto a lot. We need Sejuani to ult properly. We need Rakan to open up team fights properly for us. There are champions with a little bit of requirement on teammates' end, and teammates have to do their end of the bargain before they can really go off in team fights. Ooh, Broken Blade solo killing Huni. Oh my lord. You can see Huni's not building Raze here. That means Huni was just mega and he turned mini. So this is the state Gnar is most vulnerable. And Broken Blade able to catch where Gnar is most vulnerable and kill him. Wow. Very nicely done. Oh my goodness, you're gonna get a Scorpion as a +1. Spica tanking. Oh my god, that Scorpion as a +1. Exit, get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Okay, get out. Broken Blade, stop. Get out. Broken Blade! You idiot! Your teammate, oh my god, they made a boss side play and he stayed so far in there. You know that lead I built up? Well, Huni, here's it right back. Let me donate it right to you. Here's the red buff. Here's the tempo lead. Oh my god. Oh, that would have been so good. They got 2 kills. Bjergsen roamed down bottom and they got double kill there too. Just if he lived and he reset so he can stay ahead on tempo, but he just stayed in there the whole fucking time and fought. Just get out, use that tempo lead. One of the biggest things about solo killing someone is not only getting ahead of them in terms of gold, but also in terms of map state. While they're dead, you can push out your lane and reset first and put people in awkward situations. Think about the tempo lead. Oh, this fight is just so divided. Spica on this side doing Gromp. Gets ulted, gets stun locked up. Tries to kill Bjergsen. Holy shit. He ults Bjergsen. Spica tried to ult Bjergsen. Zaya on this side, Azira on this side, Aatrox all the way across the map. TSM's all over the place. So there's someone in my chat saying, management did that Sedge ult, by the way, Keck W. Because we played the blame game with TSM and we talked about which part of TSM deserves the blame. Do you think Spica wanted to play here? Do you think Spica's expectation wasn't be good in Academy, not try to play in LCS Gauntlet? Sure, Spica's struggling, but Spica as like a extremely new jungler never should be in this position to start with. It's like if you gave a 14-year-old dynamite and he hurt himself, and then you're like, oh my god, this stupid ass 14-year-old hurt himself with dynamite. I'm like, I'm probably gonna blame the adult that gave him the dynamite. This fight was just so separate. No way TSM could win it. Who would give a kid dynamite? Probably the same people that are starting an academy jungler over the two junglers that you've been trying to build synergy with throughout the entire split. Anyways, back to our regular programming. This is what I mean regarding the... And it's not going that well, but Clutch is actually one of the teams that uses Tahm Kench properly when they're ahead, like to get to side lanes faster. And also TSM doing a really good job of recognizing that Huni's going to play overly aggressive in side lanes and trying to punish. Huni almost built up enough rage to ult. If he ulted there and stunned people against the wall and Tahm Kench came with his friends, this side lane play is completely different. Great job on TSM reading that Huni would be aggressive and killing him, but Clutch were like 5 seconds away from being able to kill them. Doing the same thing, trying to catch Huni, being overly aggressive. Hopefully Huni learned his lesson this time and won't be overly aggressive. Nope, he'll just be overly aggressive and have his team collapse. One thing that's important is Clutch Gaming constantly maintaining mid prio and this ward here so they always know where TSM is walking towards. And they can always move first with Tahm Kench. Oh, this is where I want to talk about aggro ping pong. TSM did a good job of forcing a 5-man mid, and they're zoning out Clutch from awkward angles. They have the turret up here, they have to come through the small choke point. So this is a really nicely placed game state from TSM. Also, Demonte stole Sejuani ult and missed with it. Look what Tom Kent, Ezreal, and Gnar are able to do here. They go on Gnar first. Gnar able to get a good ult. Look at Ezreal. Look at Ezreal. Tom Kent ping-ponging the aggro from Gnar. Ezreal staying up. Ezreal staying up, doing damage. I'm not sure why he queued there. But, okay, this wasn't the fight. I'm thinking of another fight. Never mind. But you can still see a good aggro ping-pong from Vulcan being able to eat out Huni right as he's about to die. Also, how did Huni, or not Huni, how did Smoothie die there? I didn't even notice. My baby Smoothie, what'd you do? Lyra went into threaten. Lyra went into threaten. Oh, yeah, this is the bad part about playing Rakan versus a Skarner. You have to be in close range to do things, and how you survive is you're so mobile, but Skarner just fucks that completely. Doesn't allow Rakan to do his job. Really good ult from Skarner though. Oof. You just have control over so much parts of the game. Just Ezreal Tom Kench constantly maintaining mid control and Gnar constantly pressuring the side allows Clutch to actually play a proper 1-3-1, which is very rare in North America. This was such a crucial part for TSM. Clutch is making a mistake. They were trying to flank Azir. They didn't realize Seju would be here, or they definitely didn't think Rakan would be here, but they actually left their two important aggro ping-pongers in a really vulnerable spot. Smoothie waiting to RW as soon as they got popped out. I'm surprised why Bjergsen didn't EQ in here and then ult everyone out. Oh, it would have been so strong. But he played it so slowly. Like on this knockup, I want Bjergsen to hop over and ult people out. Like, they should be playing so aggressively here, and also Spica has ult. Ezreal Tom Kench in a vulnerable spot. Just go in here, EQ. Why play this so safe? Also, Spica held ult the whole time. And then he ulted Tom Kench like once the fight was over. They had a chance to really take advantage of the fact that Ezreal and Tom Kench ulting in there was so bad, but they didn't do anything with it. It was so passive. Is this the strongest Western teams have looked since the first season? For sure. Maybe a little bit disingenuous to say Western, because the only NA team that's probably going to be relevant at Worlds is TL, but still. Maybe TL somewhat of C9, but Western teams definitely looking a lot stronger than they have ever. And TSM just isn't willing to take any kind of risk, and they're just slowly losing all parts of side lane. The only places they've been proactive is, oh, we know Huni's going to be aggressive, so let's try to do something in the side lane. But other than that, they lose mid control. They're slowly losing to Huni. They're just getting choked from all parts of the map. I don't think Clutch is running like the world's cleanest 1-3-1, but they're running a 1-3-1 and it is functioning. TSM is such a scaredy cat team right now. They're just allowing Clutch to just do whatever the fuck they want. Like, make mistakes, be aggressive. We're never gonna do anything until we're grouped as 5. So Clutch is constantly asking questions to TSM. Hey, can you handle Cody in the side lane? Hey, what are you gonna do when Ezreal and Tom Kench gets mid prio? Hey TSM, what are y'all gonna do? Like, Clutch is constantly forcing TSM to be like responsive to them, where only thing TSM is really doing is like, okay, if Huni's too aggressive here, can we do something? Oh my god, this is the fight. I think this is the fight. This is the fight. Okay, TSM backing up. They got a TP out of Demonte. Okay, this wasn't the fight. Or is it? Oh shit, this is the fight. Okay, here's my problem, guys. If TSM is starting this Baron right now, what is their goal by starting this Baron? Is their goal to kill Baron? That's 1. Is their goal to kill Baron? Or 2, is their goal to fight? Because there's no fucking way in hell their goal should be, we're gonna kill this Baron. Their goal should be number 2, we're gonna turn and fight. First of all, that's a big if they can even win this fight. Second of all, if your goal is to turn, Broken Blade should not be here. He should be like here, getting ready to engage. Smoothie maybe look for a flank all the way around. Smoothie maybe hiding in this spot, maybe hiding under this rock. Like, Smoothie should be hiding somewhere. They're just like, Smoothie's out of position if they're looking to fight. Broken Blade's out of the position if they're looking to fight. They for sure should not be looking to finish this Baron. But, my god. My god. So Spica is 1 HP and they barely engaged. So Spica gets picked off. Demonte is going to flank from the other side. And then now they're going to take Baron. Like, what was the point of that Baron start, TSM? Like, what the fuck were you thinking? Oh, it was just so boosted. I just don't understand what they were trying to accomplish there. Are you trying to flank? Are you trying to team fight? Are you trying to finish Baron? Oof. They can't get a proper pick. Ugh. These fights aren't starting out terribly, and them trying to get a pick here is fine. Get him! But it's a fucking Skarner. There's a Tom Kench here. Walks up, eats the Skarner. Huni, look at this great fake out from Huni. Huni's like, ta-da! Look at me. And Zben instantly ults. Bjergsen could have ulted too. Huni knew here they had a lot of tools to get him off, so he just faked going in. It actually worked out beautifully. He's like, rawr. And then TSM's like, oh! I think because the Monte was too far and Lyra was too low, he couldn't go in there. That was a really good fake out. And then rest of Clutch Gaming, cleaning up TSM, who burned all their cooldowns. Ay, ay, ay. Just this game, TSM had a comp with some of the strongest engagers in game, Sejuani and Rakan. And the fact that they can't even get teamfight started on their own tempo and when they want to is such a big problem. If you're in a losing 1-3-1 situation, recognize it and get fight started and get the fuck out of that losing 1-3-1. But TSM just didn't do that at all. They just stayed in the losing 1-3-1. They didn't really proactively use for Connor and Sejuani. They're just not using tools when it's given to them, and they're just so afraid to play aggressive. Well, let's go to game 5. Alright guys, game 5. If you win this, you get to cleanse all your sins. Everything is okay. All the mistakes you made throughout the splits, it all becomes okay. Just need to win this one game. Can TSM do it? Maybe. Maybe in a different world where TSM won the final game and we're celebrating and we're talking about who are they going to bring to Worlds. Is it going to be Spica? Is it going to be Acadia? There is a world. There is multi-dimensions. I think game 5 is all about mental and also making people uncomfortable. So I think draft matters a lot, but it's not about technically getting the best draft, but about getting drafts that makes the other side uncomfortable. The Ezreal ban is very much targeted towards that, trying to make them uncomfortable. Skarner first pick also, trying to make Clutch uncomfortable. Jarvan. I actually think the Jarvan pick is so troll from Lyra. He's so lackluster when he's not on Skarner Sylas, so I love seeing Lyra on Jarvan for teams I'm cheering for. And from Clutch's side, I think they should also know that his Jarvan's pretty meh. And them early picking Kench like this, they're so leaning heavily into the 1-3-1. Like, they made the Kench work last time because they're winning mid side and they're also winning a side lane. Corki early because Corki's been getting banned. Oh, I feel scared. Like, just looking at this draft, one thing that made me scared was TSM were playing so passively and no one was engaging on the team. And when Bjergsen's on Corki, that means one less engager and one less proactive person on the team. Early Irelia, they don't care. They genuinely don't care what they're going to pick into it. I guess they can ban the stuff that's bad for Irelia, but they're like, give Huni his pick. Huni's been carrying us. Sivir ban, not a bad ban, especially versus Kai'Sa, and especially when the enemy team has Jarvan. Alistar, just taking away TSM's proactive engage tools. What's the final ban here? Sylas. Afraid of Sylas into Corki with Irelia going top. Kog'Maw. This was so out of the blue. I thought they were going to take Lucian, but Kog'Maw, I don't think they won because of Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw does allow them to play a full AD comp without worrying too much, so it allows them to play Kiana here if they want to. But everyone, some people overly talked about it, how Cody Sun played amazing on Kog'Maw, and like the Kog'Maw pick was such a crutch pocket pick, but I just think Lucian here would have been more than fine too. The Aatrox into Irelia, back for round 2. Same kind of draft as game 4, Clutch going into a 1-3-1 draft. Very strong side laners. Kiana can beat Corki in a side lane. Irelia can beat Aatrox in a side lane. Kog'Maw Kench, long as they're winning the mid 2v2, they can win. For TSM, one engage tool in Skarner. This is a comp where they have to be... They're going to have a hard time opening teamfights in this comp, and it's essential they play the Skarner well. And when the entire team has been playing passive the whole game, or the whole series, and you're putting your first time player on Skarner, it just leaves me worried. Like, they draft so little engage tools. I just think Rakan would have gone so much better with this comp. I know they banned it, but drafting Quirky early was an adaptation and a sacrifice that TSM made that I think actually hurt them more so than helped them. Like, who engages on TSM's comp? And then you ask the same question to Clutch, who engages? Kiana could potentially, Jarvan could, Irelia could. I guess Irelia really can't, but Clutch can actually play through a 1-3-1. What can TSM play through? They have to play through a team fight, and their engage tools being weak is such a big problem. And also, TSM doesn't really even have outscaling as a win condition. And I hate scaling as a win condition in general, because scaling is never just this, like, wait until 40 minutes and we're going to start winning the game. That's never the case. Or that's the case very, very rarely. So it's just not something reliable that people can rely on. Huni forced to burn flash early. TSM trying their best to make sure they curb Huni's early game. Oof. I think Spica was waiting for a counter gank here. It never came. Oh shit. Also, during the whole thing, I didn't even talk about jungle pathing. Let's talk about jungle pathing a little bit. We'll breeze over it really quickly. How did he not know that he was doing his blue? So Lyra started red. They are also Mia pinging, so they're talking about him potentially coming to his blue. Oof. Straight red to blue. They didn't even really catch it. They Mia pinged, but they didn't adapt to it at all. He knows his blue is gone. He's Mia pinging it. Oh, it leaves him in such an awkward position. It's not huge, but Skarner not having blue early definitely helps, or definitely hurts. That's the gank. Now we're caught up. It wasn't that big, because the only thing he was able to take is blue. So while it does hurt, it's not like massive. When people take like 3 camps or people take 2 camps, that's where it hurts the most. This wasn't that big of a deal, him losing the blue. There can be early action from Clutch's side. They have Jarvan plus Kiana, Jarvan plus Irelia, while TSM definitely wants to hit level 6 on Skarner before they look for anything too big. Wow, they're actually getting kills. Whoa. Getting kills on Huni, that's actually such a good start. Wow, what a way to start the game. Kills on Huni, their best player. Okay. I think that's gonna matter a lot. If Aatrox can maintain the control over Irelia and Irelia doesn't get out of control. If they can scale fine into team fights and actually set up, like the way TSM has to be for team fights is like, we're at Dragon first and you're forced to walk into us from tiny chokes, and Corki can poke you out and Braum can make it awkward for you to walk into chokes with his ultimate. Like, you can do that at Dragon, you can do that at Baron. TSM has to constantly maintain their lead and also their tempo advantage so they can walk to objectives first and make sure people can't walk in. It's not easy, but TSM definitely has a way they can play out the game. While Clutch is a little bit more doable, it might not sound that simple, but go into 1-3-1 situation, really play off the Kiana side lane, really play off the Irelia side lane, make kills happen in side lanes, and force TSM to kind of thin out. Almost 10 minutes, TSM swapping early. Svika able to get that. What is it? Scuttle, getting ready for the Herald. Both Broken Blade has TP and Huni doesn't have TP. That's actually huge. Oof. Yep, TSM early to Dragon, or early to Herald, excuse me. Broken Blade waiting here to make sure people can't come in. Wow. Damn, I forgot TSM got an early lead in this series, or early lead in this game. While that was happening, while Broken Blade moved, Huni stayed bot side, just kept pushing, got some turret plating, got up in CS. Oof. This is what I mean regarding Clutch playing the side lanes. With the slight lead that Kiana had, she's roaming. Also, Kiana gets bonus movement speed whenever she's moving around from her Mobies. And also her Q, I think. It's either her Q or W. Whenever she has element, she's able to move faster. So this roam is actually very fast and it's hard to predict. And then even though he dodged the flash engage from Huni, not able to dodge the flash engage from Demonte. And then just followed up on. Oh yeah, plus their Drake. But while that's happening, TSM needs to get leads other places. Got a plating off a mid, pushed a little bit. They have Herald on Spica. Very important they use it quickly before 14 minutes. They don't want to hold it for too long. They definitely want to use it before 14. There we go, using it at 13:30. Hopefully this crashes into mid lane before 14. Timed with package perfectly. Okay, nicely done. A lot of gold for Bjork right there. Okay, taking top. Wow, TSM's actually off to such a nice start. The Broken Blade or Aatrox versus Irelia gap isn't that big. Bjork is ahead on the Kiana. Kai'Sa versus Kog'Maw, both scaling nicely. Wow, this game, I remember it being more stompy. One thing that's happening is this side lane pressure the Jarvan's constantly providing for Irelia and how it's affecting rest of the map. Aatrox has to back up and they eventually have to go and deal with it together. There's gonna be a point where Irelia Jarvan is gonna have kill potential on Aatrox. TSM waiting to get a pick off of mid side right here. Just waiting for that pick. Oof. Let's slow this down. This is the team fight positioning that I talked about that was really good for TSM. Clutch is walking in through a small choke point and TSM can really pressure them on this small choke point. Oh, Lyra almost engaged on by Spica. Great stopwatch timing. Huni buying space with his ultimate. Smoothie using ult in that small choke that we talked about. Really bad. Vulcan fucking clutched this shit. This was so bad for Lyra here. Or not Lyra, Huni. Huni got ulted and then got saved by Vulcan. If he didn't get saved by Vulcan here and he got dragged all the way down, still a really bad fight for Clutch. They can't make it in through this choke. Now TSM can take Dragon, but they need to constantly do this where they need to be up in tempo and controlling small entrances and not allowing Clutch to come in. Why the fuck is he burning flash here? What did you stay here for? Their support is resetting. It's really important these guys reset on tempo too. Really bad to stay. They weren't going to get turret and this fucks their tempo. Now Clutch has tempo. Now TSM has to deal with what Clutch wants to do. You can see how the tempo completely swinged in favor of Clutch, even though it was TSM that came out ahead in the Dragon fight, because Broken Blade delayed his back. Nothing bad happened because of it, luckily, but I really hate like small mistakes like this. Just take the back with the rest of the team, don't delay it. TSM had mid turret low from their initial... Oh, I think that was a mistake of a stopwatch. Oh, he stopwatched because there was that W there. I don't think it would have been that dangerous. I wouldn't say it's a mistake. Maybe over eager. But you see how whenever TSM does this, Broken Blade goes mid and Huni keeps split pushing. And then this is where the gold gap keeps happening and it keeps getting better and better for Huni. TSM have to play nearly flawlessly because they like grouping so much and they have to get objectives every time they do that. If they fuck up, or if Clutch is able to engage a good fight on them, and the next time they're back in side lane situation, Huni versus Broken Blade League gets so big. Huni already paid his QSS tax. TSM actually playing, they actually have mid lane prio this time, so they're the first ones to move, so Huni has to back up. This was a huge problem last game when they had Ezreal Tahm Kench, where Clutch was constantly have mid prio, and Huni could play up if he wanted to, and his team would get there first, but now Huni doesn't have the same prio from the rest of his team, so he has to back up, and can't play as aggressive as he wants to. Oh, going back in here, a little bit dangerous, you don't think? So here, why Spica can't ult Huni even though he's right behind him is he has QSS. Even if he ults him, it's not gonna matter. Next dragon, let's see how both teams handle it. If it's in an open space fight and Clutch has angles they can flank from, it's fine for Clutch. If TSM has complete control and Clutch has to come in from a choke, it's bad for TSM. Oof. Oh, fully wide team fight. Not walking in through chokes, way better. Let's slow this down. Monty looking for a flank angle, showing on a ward though. Huni used his stun. TSM went in for this way too late. If they're gonna go in, they have to go in before Dragon dies. They're just waiting too much. Ziben used E and then backed up. They're just so... Like, what is this? Are you fighting for this dragon or not? Because if you're fighting for this dragon, then Smoothie's flash ulting. Like, if you're fighting for this dragon... Broken Blade's going in here, Smoothie flash ulting on Kog'Maw, forcing them to back, and then they try to kill Huni and Lyra with the rest of the team. Like, they're just so separate, and they don't have a complete idea on what they want to do. Without watching the situation play out, without knowing how the situation played out, think about if TSM's playing coordinated together. Why is Ziben using E, walking forward, and then walking backwards? Why is Spica using W to walk forward and then walking backwards? Why is everyone using things to try to engage and then walk backwards? The team is so indecisive and they don't have an idea on what they want to do. Where Clutch makes a play, be it good, be it bad, everyone's making the play together. Like, you see when Clutch goes in, people are going in together. And one thing is, people might be like, oh man, Cody carried this fight. Yes, Cody did really well in this fight, but there's thing that's missing is how everyone else on Clutch bought space for each other. And especially bought space for Cody. Now let's watch the fight again. Lyra going in, buying time, walking back. Let the rest of the team come in. Huni going in after, Lyra went in, and now Huni buying space for people. Demonte going on this side, insta-killing Skarner. Vulcan staying up front, buying time, waiting for Cody's W. Cody gets his W up again, and then attacking. Demonte went in and bought time for Cody. So initially, Cody had his W up, and they fought. Cody's W went down, and they needed to wait for Cody's W to come back up, and people constantly bought time for each other. The power of friendship. Clutch is just way more coordinated as a team than TSM. I think you could even say it was lucky for TSM to win the first 2 games. Clutch isn't the cleanest team in the world, nor are they like an absolute top tier team in NA, but they are definitely way more coordinated than TSM. They know how to play 1-3-1 better than most NA teams. Like, they're just good enough. Weird that a team that doesn't swap its jungler every 2 weeks has more coordination. I mean, even with the jungler thing, they could be coordinated. It's just like such basic cohesion is missing from TSM. Oh, what's this? You see how when Clutch is like turning for the fight, everyone's doing it together and everyone's ready? Like Demonte, he's already ready to turn. I would have liked it if Cody's son is out here. But other than that, like the formation of things, they are ready to turn. They're ready to turn. Go in. Get out. Waiting for Irelia. Now Irelia here. Now they can go ham. Irelia coming in, buying time. Not wasting the space Irelia bought, everyone else coming back in. Just they do things together. If you've been watching the whole VOD review, you'll see in previous games where TSM failed in terms of Baron turn, but Clutch is so ready to turn and they know exactly how things should be happening. Get the reset, Clutch. Kog'Maw is 4-0. Just keep playing off of Kog'Maw. Everyone buy space for Kog'Maw. Demonte and Huni don't even need to kill people. All they need to do, especially Lyra also, all they need to do is go in, eat CC, and eat damage. You don't need to kill anyone. Let Cody do the rest of the work. But make sure there's space for Kog'Maw to team fight. Oof. And Broken Blade just doesn't have vision, so it's hard for him to even walk up there. Kiana snuck in there, and then yeah, I don't even necessarily think that's Broken Blade's fault. It's just the game state is so fucked for TSM right now. Oh. I don't think TSM can win a team fight. Just they haven't shown the cohesion, and also Kog'Maw's getting more and more out of control. Alright, another fight. TSM can potentially finish this Baron, so maybe it's fine for people to be in there. But they really need to think about, is it okay for us to commit all the way to this Baron? Or are we going to need to turn and team fight? Because if they're turning and team fighting... Oh, this was the fight actually. I remember. Oh. So TSM, beautiful turn. Insta-kill on the Tahm Kench. Here, TSM's biggest thing is they need to look at Huni. They need to keep looking at Huni. And Irelia is their biggest threat right now. Irelia and Kog'Maw. Kiana's not that big of a threat, especially when she fucked up her ult here. So Demonte fucks up his ult here, right? And Demonte has green around him. When the Kiana has green around him, or her, it means she has stealth. It means she has grass. It means you can't fucking try to target her in a team fight. Bjerg's stopwatch, which was bad, but just Spica and Broken Blade chasing after Demonte, who has grass element, means they look at Spica now and look at Broken Blade. Like, they're just out of the fight. Broken Blade and Spica gave Cody Sun so much space to do damage in a team fight. Go back and watch this. Yes, Bjerg's stopwatch is garbage here, but also Demonte failed ult, and Broken Blade and Spica chase after Demonte for no reason at all. TSM's coordination in team fights is non-existent. And they honestly deserve to lose. Bjerg's stopwatch there was garbage. Rest of the team's coordination to chase after the Kiana who has stealth was garbage. And then now it's just gonna be Clutch finishing out the game. Oh my god, Cody almost got killed there. He doesn't have flash, and that's Tom K using his eat. So he ate him, he still W'd, and he spat him out, and he almost got killed. Huni bought a lot of space with ult there. Good on Huni. Ugh, TSM have no choice to actually but just forfeit. Just have to forfeit inhibitors constantly. That's it. That's how the cookie crumbles. What an ending. I don't feel that bad about this one. I think the better team won for sure. And TSM's lack of cohesion really showed. They had what, like 3 or 4 weeks of practice with this roster, and they still couldn't show any kind of cohesion. It is what it is. Like, oh my god, there's someone whose job is to tell the camera guy to be like, could you get shots of Smoothie? Get shots of Smoothie. He's crying, please get shots of Smoothie. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. Oh damn. Clutch definitely deserves it. They were the better team by far. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this VOD review. Listen Loco is up and running again. Tuesday, 3 p.m. with Duncan Shields, my favorite co-host. Gonna be 2 of us. We're gonna be talking North America. And Friday, 12 p.m. PDT, or 12 noon, like Friday noon, we're gonna have Wonder from G2 to talk EU. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this VOD review.